the 25-year habit that created freedom, wealth, and abundance for strategic coach and business consultant Dan Sullivan. That's what we'll be discussing on the first episode of Night Shift with Justin S. King, How to Transform Your Life One Night at a Time. Today is December 31st, 2025, New Year's Eve, and the reason I'm recording this is because your day starts in the nighttime. The story I'm sharing today comes from the book 10X is Easier Than 2X by Ben Hardy and Dan Sullivan, and it culminates on New Year's Eve 2003, where at a meeting with his friends and his wife, Babs, Dan Sullivan revealed that he was ending a project that he did for 25 years and he only missed 12 days. What that project was that he wrote down every single night what he truly wanted in his journal. The reason he began this 25 years before that was because he went through bankruptcy and divorce and found himself in a lot of pain. And he decided that a big part of this breakdown, this collapse in his life, was because he was living his life based on needs. He was doing the 80% of things that he felt he needed to do, that he felt others wanted him to do. And he was justifying the things he was doing based on security and safety and a scarcity mindset. So he began this habit to transform his life and his thinking into one of abundance, one of freedom, and one of wealth. He says when you live in a need-based mindset, you're trying to close a gap. That gap owns you, and the pressure to fulfill that needs drives you. The world leads and you follow. Even good goals start to feel heavy because you're chasing relief, not transformation. But when you shift into want, the goal becomes magnetic instead of heavy. You're not trying to escape a feeling anymore. You're choosing a feeling. You're not trying to prove yourself to anyone. You're becoming yourself. You're living in alignment with yourself. You're not asking if it's possible. You're deciding it's yours to create. That's why the real victory is letting go of needs. Not because needs are weak, but because they're too small to build a 10x life. Needs suffocate you. Wants expand you. Needs contract. Wants create leaders. Need creates followers. Needs make you reactive. They put you in a scrambling mode. They create psychological resistance. They distort your true desires. They keep you in a negotiating mindset with yourself and with others around you. They also drain your identity. If you're not living according to your wants, you feel controlled by the circumstances, people, or money instead of empowered by them. You're operating in a state of scarcity. And even if success is possible by getting your needs, your mind behaves like it isn't. So redirecting your mind into going after what you want and focusing your reticular activating system on what you want. It gives you direction, energy, creativity, and motivation without desperation. Letting go of needs isn't giving up the goal, it's upgrading the relation to it. And that's one of the greatest things that keep us stuck in life, is living in a scarcity mindset where we feel like we are competing with other people. But when you transfer your mind into an abundance mindset, into a wanting mindset, you are going to start finding ways to create value. You're not competing for limited resources. You are creating and adding value to resources, and you are shifting from security into a wealth mindset, because wealth is truly abundance. There is no limitations on what you can achieve and accomplish as long as you are going after wants that don't harm other people. One of the things that you will run into, Dan Sullivan warns in his book, is people will ask you, why do you need that? And your mind will jump back to justifying it as a need. But what he says, you don't need to justify your wants. They're just what you want. So what is it that you truly want? A life of freedom, abundance? You want a better relationship? How do you find out what it is that you truly want? A lot of things that we've been trained to do recently or while we're growing up is to go after needs and other people's desires of what they think, what we think we should want. So how do you discover this? This comes from looking within, and I will just cover a couple things that you can do to figure out what it is you want tonight. The first thing you can do is, where a lot of people find resistance, is writing down what you do not want. You can write down 3 things what you don't want. And the reason you're going to do this is because you can look at those things and flip them. Look at the opposite of what you truly want. And after you've written down those things you don't want, you can throw them away and leave them in 2025, because today is New Year's Eve. And then you can focus on those wants. Another way you can do this is to look yourself in a mirror and ask yourself, what is it that you want? What is it that I want? What is it that I want? If I wasn't lying to myself, what is it that I truly want? I've seen people do this as an exercise with another person. And if you are going to do that, have that person ask you over and over, what do you want? But make sure this person is someone who wants the best for you as well. They're not going to respond to anything you say except, yes, and what else do you want? Another way you can truly decide what you want is by asking yourself, taking 3 deep breaths and asking yourself, if I deeply and truly loved myself, what would I want? And then write down the answer. If any thoughts around, I can't have that, any negative thoughts come up about why you shouldn't want it, just ignore those for now. We will talk about how to treat those in a future episode. But tonight, New Year's Eve, write down a list of things you want in 2026 and practice that brave sentence by saying, I want what I want. I don't need to justify it to anyone. That is the end of the first episode of Night Shift. My name is Justin S. King, and I help men find peace tonight, tomorrow, and for the rest of their lives through sleep optimization, emotional regulation, and discovering their purpose. Good night.